Hello guys, and welcome to another video where we're going to show you how to write your first test. And this is Lucas, and well, let's get going. So as we explained before in the previous video was how to install Capybara and RSpec, and in this video we're going to show you how to actually use this framework. So let's go ahead to our folder, our command line, so make sure you're in the right folder, and let's run generator Rails generate integration test, and we call it static pages. Okay, press enter, and that will generate a new file and a new folder under spec right here. So I don't know why it's taking so long on my computer. It must be something that is making it a little bit slower than it should be. Really slow, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, so go to your folder spec, and for some reason I find it hard to generate the correct structure for the folders for our integration tests, because the RSpec will put them in requests, where the Capybara require us to put in a folder called features. So let's create folder features in spec folder, okay, and let's just move our newly created test to a features folder. I need to look into how to generate the test so it appears in the right place, but right now don't really worry about that. Okay, let's open that test. There is a whole bunch of code already generated, but it's really not doing any good, so delete that, save it, and you can go back here and just write RSpec just to make sure everything is running fine. Okay, great. So again, there was no tests, because here inside of our describe block there is no test. So let's write the first test. So the describe blocks can be nested, so we can create another describe block inside it. Describe, and we call this package a home page. Okay, 2. And every test requires us to, or not every test, but we generally be preparing, so inputting some data into the test, and we will expect something to happen. So in this case, we want to open the page and see if it has the right content. So let's write before, which will execute before our expectation. Visit root path, and our test, it should have right content too. And here we take our page, and this is provided by Capybara, should have content, and let's say home page. Okay, let's save that, and let's try to run our test. So RSpec. Great. So now we have the first test, and it fails. And always should fail when you write the test, and it should really fail for the first time. If it doesn't fail, you're probably testing the wrong thing. So let's see what our error message tells us. So it looks like up to here everything went fine. So the before block has been executed, so it doesn't give us any error, and we have our expectation here. So the Capybara or RSpec expected to find text homepage, but it didn't find it. It found only this text. And if we look in our home HTML, this is exactly what content it displays now. So let's change it to homepage, And notice that this is case sensitive. So we expected homepage, and there is homepage here, but this is capital case and this is not. And it doesn't match. If this was lowercase, it would work. So let's save our HTML and run our. And this time our test is passing. You see this green dot here. So before we had this F letter for failed. Okay, now we have first green dot, first test passed. So let's write another test. So we are on a home page. Let's create a new describe block inside of previous describe block. So it's like 3 levels already. Describe, and we say clicking link to contact page. Okay, and before, let's click link contact. Okay, and we would expect, so it should open contact page to current path should equals contact path. Okay, so in Ruby, if you say double equals, it will compare whether the left side is the same as the right side. So you'd expect that the current location, current address within a page will be a contact page address. So let's save that. Oh, by the way, because before this test is executed, it will try to run this before, and before it will run this. So we will be on the root path on the home page, and then on the home page we'll click the contact link. So let's save that and let's run our spec. Great. So the first test is still passing, but the second test is failing. So Capybara says, well, it could not find element that says contact, could not find the link. Well, there is none, so let's create one here, and I'll use Ruby to create the link. So I say link to, I say contact, and for now I'll put this hash, which will make link not go anywhere. And therefore, if you haven't seen this type of syntax before, this is exactly the same as this. Okay, so this is Ruby. Ruby will take this code and generate our link out of that. But it can do it in a very dynamic way. So from now on, we're going to be using this syntax to create links. So let's save that. And let's run our spec again. Great, so it fails again, but now it gives us a different error. So right now it says, well, there is no method saying contact path. Well, there is no method because there is no such address. So let's go ahead to our route file and create that route. So in our config folder, there is a routes file. Let's open that. And let's create new route. So get contact, which will give us this contact page method. And that would go to static pages controller and action contact. Okay, let's save that. And let's run our test again. Great. So now it says there is no we couldn't get to the right page. Actually, this is probably not correct. Oh, okay, so this is fine. Okay, so look like we wrote the test just once. Okay, this is our test. Very easy to write, saying click on the contact and it should go to the right location, but it doesn't. So it gives us all this information. It tells us what the next step is. So we write the test once and we try to make it pass, and it will just kind of give us hints what to do next. So okay, So let's put that link so it points to the right action controller. So let's go here and say, let's delete this and replace it with contact path. Save that and go back and run. Great, it failed again, and this time it gave us a different error. It tells us that there is no such action as contact in the static pages controller. Okay, so let's go ahead and create one, just like we did with home. So define contact. Okay, and end. Remember about this end. My IDE does it for me, but if you use text editor, sometimes you may forget. So remember, always close your actions with end. Okay, let's run our spec again. And it failed again, but this time, look, it gave us another error saying that there is a missing template. Yes, there is no template. We didn't create HTML file for the test to use. So let's create. So easy to write. It was really just a handful of lines, and it tells us what we should do next in order to make this functionality work. So let's create. Remember, it has the name of the file has to match the name of the action in the controller. So it should say contact HTML ERB, so we can use Ruby code inside. Okay, you can ignore that. Okay, let's try our spec again. And look at that, we have 2 tests passing. So now, right now, without opening the page, we know that there is a link on the home page, and when we click that link, it will open contact page. So let's go ahead and create another test to make sure that on the contact page there is a link to the home page. So let's go back to the static pages spec, and we'll create a new describe block. Contact page. Do. And here we will try to, before we want to visit, actually there is a couple of things we want to do. So instead of before and curly braces, we'll say we will create another block. So before do, and remember you always have to, when you have do, you have to always put an end to it. Okay. So before, we will say we want to visit contact path. And you see we can put many elements inside of one block. We can have multiple lines. So I want to go to contact path, and we want to click link that says home. Okay, and we would expect that it should open home, or say root page. Let's say home page, makes more sense. Okay, do, and remember always and always close your blocks. Okay, so we say current, or actually no, let's make sure that page should have content. Just like before, we checked home page. Okay, let's save that and run our spec. And it failed because it cannot find link home on the contact page. So let's open the contact.html.erb and let's put our link here. So you say link to home, and let's make it go directly to root path. Okay. Oh, sorry. Always remember about the comma after the name of the link. Okay. Let's try to run it. And the test now passes. look like we don't even open the page to make sure that we can actually see it. If you don't believe me that there is a link that says home and you can click it and it will take you to the home page, try for yourself. We're going to do it at the very end. Okay, so now we have link. The last thing I want to show you in this video, I want to show you how to add the partial. And we're going to do more partials in future episodes, but this is like, let's make it like an introduction right now. So we want this home link and the contact link to appear on every page no matter where you go. Okay, so let's go to our static pages spec and let's add here that we also the page should have link and the link should say contact. Okay, and let's go to our contact page and let's add to the test. Okay, and say it should have all links, say menu links, do, and say page should have link, and we say home, and page should have link contact. Okay, let's save that and let's run it. And as we know, it's going to fail because on each page we only have one link that's pointing to pages, so we know it's going to fail. But let's wait until it fails. So for some reason it's taking a really long time. Alright, so we have expect link contact to be on the contact page, but there wasn't. So let's save that and let's go back to our contact page, and we can make it pass by copying this line and saying contact and saying here contact path, and you will see that it will pass. But this is really not efficient to do this kind of menu on each page separately. So we're gonna extract all the menu links and we will put them in the separate HTML file. So let's go into our layouts inside of our views file and let's create a new file here. And let's call it underscore menu.html.erb. Okay, let's save that. And let's put our both links here. So let's cut that out. Let's put it in menu, save, and go to our home page and get rid of this link as well. So save that, and we'll see that now the test will fail because we deleted all these links. But we will add our menu to our application. So let's wait until it fails, and we will render our partial here. Great, so there is a whole bunch of tests failing. You see, we changed those files and now everything is failing. This is our test looking after us. It's looking if we make any mistakes and it will immediately let us know. So let's render. There is an action we call render, and we say layouts / because it's in the layouts folder / menu. We don't need to add this underscore, and the Rails application would know that this is a partial because this is the way we call partials with the underscore at the beginning. So let's save that and see if our tests are now passing. And yes, they are. So we know now that on each page we'll render this menu partial that at the moment contains 2 links, and everything that is contained in our templates will be rendered here. This link yield will be replaced by the content of each file that's rendered on each page. So let's first, for the first time in this video, let's have a look at our website. So let's go here, go to localhost colon 3000. Okay, oh, we don't even run our server. So you see, we can write all our tests, and we don't even need to start our application because it's going to be started in test environment. So let's say Rails server, or S for short. Okay, wait until it starts. Wait for it. This is really annoying. It's taking so much time. Great. So let's go back and type our localhost colon 3000. And yes, we are on the home page, and there are two links, just like in our tests. Let's go click on contact. You can see the URL change, but there is no content of the contact page. So actually, let's add something so we can see that we are on the contact page. So H1. Okay, and go back here, refresh, yes, contact page. Go back to the home page, and we are back on the whole page. And the menu will be rendered on every single page in our application. That's it in this video. Thank you very much. And in the next video, I'm going to show you how to add even more tests to your application. Thank you very much for watching.